Today I am joined by researchers who invent some of the most advanced metals on the planet, designers who are modeling prototypes in the digital cloud, folks from the Pentagon who help to support their work. Basically, I'm here to announce that we're building Iron Man. I'm going to blast off in a second. This has been a secret project we've been working on for a long time. Not really. Maybe. It's classified. For months about an opportunity agenda. And let me break it down into 4 parts. Number 1, more good jobs that pay good wages. Jobs in American manufacturing, rebuilding our infrastructure, innovation, energy. Number 2, training workers with the skills they need to fill those jobs. Number 3, guaranteed access to a world-class education for every child in America. And number 4, making sure that hard work pays off. With wages you can live on and savings you can retire on and health insurance you can count on when you need it. Now, I'm looking forward to working with Congress wherever they're willing to do something on any of these priorities. And I have to say that the members of Congress who are here all care deeply about these issues. But let's face it, sometimes it's hard to get moving in Congress. We got a divided Congress at this point. And so in this year of action, wherever I can act on my own to expand opportunity for more Americans, I'm going to seize that opportunity. And that's why we're here today. Already my administration has launched 2 hubs for high-tech manufacturing. One is in Youngstown, Ohio, and it's focused on 3D printing, an entirely new way by which the manufacturing process can accelerate and supply chains get stitched together, and you integrate design and all the way through production in ways that are can potentially be revolutionary. We've also focused on energy-efficient electronics in Raleigh, North Carolina. And what happens at each of these hubs is we're connecting leading businesses to research universities so they're able to ensure that America leads the world in the advanced technologies that are going to make sure that we're at the forefront when it comes to manufacturing. Go ahead and take some action to launch more of these hubs this year. And today we're announcing the next 2 advanced manufacturing hubs. One is in the Detroit area, and the other is in Chicago, Illinois. Now, let me describe a little more why this is so important. For generations of Americans, manufacturing was the ticket to a good middle-class life. We made stuff. And the stuff we made, like steel and cars and planes, made us the economic leader of the world. And the work was hard, but the jobs were good. And if you got on an assembly plant in Detroit or in a steel plant in Youngstown, you could buy a home. You could raise kids. You could send them to college. You could retire with some security. And those jobs didn't just tell us how much we were worth, they told us how we were contributing to the society and how we were helping to build America. And gave people a sense of dignity and purpose. If they saw a Boeing plane or one of the big 3 cars rolling off the assembly line, they said, you know what, I made that. And they were iconic. And people understood that. That's what it meant for something to be made in America. Now, advances in technology have allowed manufacturers to do more with less. Global competition means a lot of good manufacturing jobs went overseas. There was just more competition. Folks caught up to us, and they, in some cases, just copied what we were doing with lower wages. So the competition was fierce, and in the 2000s alone, we lost about 1/3 of all American manufacturing jobs, and the middle class suffered for it. Now the good news is, today our manufacturers have added more than 620,000 new manufacturing jobs over the last 4 years. That's the first sustained manufacturing growth in over 20 years. But the economy's changed. So if we want to attract more good manufacturing jobs to America, we've got to make sure we're on the cutting edge of new manufacturing techniques and technologies. And I just have to emphasize here that, because you'll hear some people say, well, you know, why are manufacturing jobs so special? And, you know, this is a service economy. And nobody believes that we're going to duplicate all the manufacturing jobs that existed back in the 40s and the 50s just because the economy's changed. You go into an auto plant now, it's different than it was. Fewer people can make more cars. But keep in mind that when we have manufacturing in this country, what ends up happening is that, first of all, there are a whole lot of suppliers to those manufacturers. So that one plant may be deceptive. It doesn't tell you all the companies all across the country that are working on behalf of those manufacturers, the services that are provided to those manufacturers, the advertising that's connected to it, and the architects and the designers and the software engineers. All those things may not be counted as manufacturing, but by us having those hubs of manufacturing, it has a ripple effect throughout the economy. So we've got to focus on advanced manufacturing to keep that manufacturing here in the United States. That's what's going to help get the next Stark Industries off the ground. So today, by the way, my Commerce Secretary, Penny Pritzker, is not here because she's in Silicon Valley, meeting with business leaders and talking about how together we can work to spur economic growth. The point is, I don't want the next big job-creating discovery to come from Germany or China or Japan. I want it to be made here in America. And this is one last point I'm going to make about this. Typically, a lot of research and development wants to be co-located with where manufacturing is taking place. Because if you design something, you want to see how is it working and how's it getting made, and then tinker with it and fix it and try something different. So if all the manufacturing's somewhere else, the lead we've got in terms of design and research and development, we'll lose that too. That'll start locating overseas, and we will have lost what is the single most important thing about American economy, and that is innovation. So that's what all these hubs are about. They're partnerships that bring together companies and universities to develop cutting-edge technology, train workers to use that technology, and then make sure that the research is translated into real-world products made by American workers.